So salt is something that I've been thinking a lot about this week. And I found out that in the ancient world, ingesting salt with someone made your agreement legally binding, which I thought it might be helpful to know next time you agree to something over a packet of crisps. And I learned that salt was paid by the handful to Roman soldiers, and being worth one's salt literally means they had done a good job and earned their salt. And this salt money, which became salary, could be traded for other things. I also read that in Old Testament times, salt was added to food as it made it taste better and last longer. And it's recorded in Leviticus that the Lord said to Moses, "Do not leave the salt of the covenant of your God out of your grain offerings." So we're going to do a little salt test. I've persuaded two people, Henry and Alison, to come and taste some of the crisps I have in front of us. And this agreement is not legally binding, I should add. So what I'd like the two of you to do together is work through the three bowls and try and tell me what flavour you think they are. So if you do the same bowl at the same time. Salt and vinegar. Taste test number one. Salt and vinegar. Let's try the next one. Yes, yes. Just keep going. This is now breakfast. Maybe ready sorted? Ready sorted. 2 out of 2. And the final one. Fantastic, 3 out of 3. Those were salt and shake packets that are still around. So from this scientific experiment, we have evidenced that salt flavours things. And while they finish munching, this evidence also shows salt is of value. Thank you very much, both of you. What we are going to do later on is consider what value salt has in the context that Jesus was speaking about and the precious commodity that it is. But we'll come to that later. Over to you, Nadine. So when Jesus said, "You are the salt of the earth," he had gone up a mountainside and was teaching his disciples what it means to fulfill the law. So what I'd like to start this morning is by asking you, with the people you are sat next to discuss what "you are the salt of the earth" means to you here today. And we're going to take a couple of minutes to do that. If there's anybody at the back who would like to join Leonie on the table with their children as well, please move around as you do so. What does it mean to you today to say you are the salt of the earth? I'm going to ask for more feedback, but I've already had some from the front here. So far, we've got that being salt of the earth makes us dependable. It means doing our bit. It makes us conscientious, but it doesn't mean that we go about our lives saying, "Look what I've done, I'm amazing." So is there anything else? If I've already covered your feedback, you don't have to speak, but if anyone would like to offer any other suggestions, please wave at me. Mary. It makes you different. So you're different, you're not boring. I like that. Anything else?
You're just going to say that you only need a little bit, or should on meals. Sometimes I see people doing this all over, but
So you're thinking of the concentration of salt.
So we've got to scatter through the spread. And I was thinking also, it's not always popular, because the Archbishop of Canterbury and the Pope sometimes say very controversial things, which certain people don't like. So it's, it can be, well, I guess I was told by the dentist to bathe my mouth in salt. At first, it doesn't feel very good. It does.
It does, yes, the healing properties. There's a lot there, isn't there? So the healing properties of salt, that we don't want to be all concentrated in one place, but we want to spread our distinctness and our conscientiousness throughout our community. So just returning to our gospel passage, also when Jesus said, "You are the salt of the earth," he was saying, "You are as valuable as salt to me. Each one of you adds a flavour, and everyone is precious." And this applies not only to the disciples he was talking to, but as we've all just discussed, it applies to every one of us here today. Jesus was calling everyone to himself without discrimination. So in that one sentence, if I can try and sum this up, I think Jesus was saying that the omnipotent God who created the mountains, oceans and valleys decided that he needed someone just like you. Not the person sat next to you, you uniquely and individually. He created you to be just the way you are, with a unique identity and calling. As Psalm, I think it's 139 says, "You are uniquely and wonderfully made." And I think we just need to recognise how amazing that is. And then Jesus wants us, as salt of the earth, to come confidently before him, loving ourselves as he loves us, which includes our strengths and our weaknesses. So if we can have the next slide, Henny. The next sentence of the gospel reading says, "If salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again?" Now, I'm not a scientist, but I don't think from my research that salt can lose its saltiness. As my research tells me, it is a stable mineral compound comprising sodium and chloride. I didn't know that. And it doesn't decompose, it doesn't disintegrate, and it is unchangeable. So, next question, what does Jesus mean when it says, if the salt loses its saltiness, in reference to ourselves, how can we be made salty? Because it seems like a contradiction in terms. Over to you to discuss. I'm going to pause you there, because I've already got some good ideas. So we heard that salt losing its saltiness could refer to salt being put into a liquid, was the idea given, where it gets diluted, you're not as aware of it, but it's still there. Yep, so that idea of dilution. Did anyone else have ideas of what could be meant? Mark had another view? Oh, okay, so salt is losing its power. Going on with the dilution theory, Trish is saying because it gets diluted so much because we get involved in other things that we're not aware that it's there anymore. It's lost its ability to flavour. So that could be something. And Henry, you were discussing something about can we be too salty sometimes? Do we need to be a little bit diluted? Have I got that right? Don't overdo it. Don't be there. And I suppose that goes back to what we were discussing in the first question. We do things, we're conscientious, but we don't want to be there saying, look at me, I'm such an amazing Christian, I'm so salty. And I know that when I was discussing this with the boys, actually, I didn't realise that salty now has changed in its meaning. So if you're salty, you're like a bad loser, apparently. or you're getting angry over nothing. And maybe we need to do more about that as Christians. I don't know, but I'm just putting that one out there. So, what did Jesus mean, or what do I think Jesus meant when he said that we can lose our saltiness? I think this is the radical challenge that he's presenting. Our salt is inherently in us, but it comes out when we choose to enter into a personal relationship with God. We are salt of the earth through creation, so we don't need to do anything to earn God's love. But, as we discussed, our salt is diluted by sin. And that's why God sent Jesus to die for us, to remove that barrier of sin that is between us and God. And then we become salty when we accept that our whole identity and meaning comes from God. And our salvation is only possible because of the resurrection of Jesus, the death and resurrection of Jesus. And what I love even more is that Jesus died for everyone, regardless of whether we accept that we need God's grace. He died, his dying was not conditional on us accepting it. We come freely to him. We choose to flavour the earth. We are all salt, but we make that conscious choice. So it's accepting the challenge of living according to God's law that is transformational. And that is what makes us salty again. It gives meaning and purpose to our lives, and it allows our salt to flavour our interactions with others. And when we do this, we glorify our Father in heaven. So to sum up, we are the salt of the earth and the light of the world, not because of anything we can do, but because of who God is. Amen.
Now, it's notice time, everyone. So, are you listening? This afternoon at 2:30 is a walk exploring Tring Park. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon, so I encourage you to go along and meet over there for 2:30 start. The next one is, remember your tickets for the barn dance. Sorry.
I have them.
Oh, well done. William has tickets for the barn dance. See him afterwards to get yours, won't you? And Julie's got some. So you will not be escaping without your tickets this morning. And next, this is our lovely shop along the high street. It's wonderful. I have witnessed people popping in there, chatting. It is a wonderful financial support to our church here. And we need some volunteers, please. We need some extra help, please. If this is something that you could do, or you may know someone who could do this, could you please contact Helen, am I right? Or see Sally or myself. But we are really struggling for volunteers there. So please, I ask you, if you can or someone you know, then please do get in touch with Helen. As I said, it's a wonderful place in our community as an outreach as well, please. Pancake party, another plea. I'm nearly there with helpers, but I could do with 2 or 3 more. So if you're able to help on Shrove Tuesday between 4 and 5:30, or you can give a hand at the end, putting this church back as it should be, then please let me know at the end as well.